Hello! Today we're going to be welding my buddy's 350Z Diff, and we're going to be going and testing it out. And also, I thought I'd show you around and tell all the cars that are around here that we got, all the projects, and so you know you can be more familiar with it when you see it. So anyway, let's go do that now. Start off, I'm going to show you my brother's S14 that I built for him when he was in boot camp. It's 95. It started off as an automatic dual cam car. We got it when it was manual, swapped, but the KA wasn't enough. So we put a 1UZ in it out of a 98 Toyota Crown. It's a VVTi 1UZ. It makes about, I don't know, probably like 280 horsepower, 280 torque to the wheels. It's on some work wheels. It needs a paint job really bad. I'm about to do the sunroof delete panel because the sunroof doesn't work. It's got a Bride Low Max in it, R32 wheel, a very cracked dash. But it's got a welded diff. It's on, I don't know what coilovers it's on, K-Sport I think? K-Sport. But it rips, it's pretty fast, sounds really amazing. Next we have my dad's Fox body. It is a 1988. I bought it for him for his 50th birthday so he couldn't sell it. Because he was always talking about he wanted a toy. Never really did it, so I went and did it for him. This is an 88, I said that already, but it's on Godspeed coilovers. It's got a Drift American angle kit. It's got a Chase Base hydro, and then a Drift American dual caliper kit. It's got a Posi 8.8 rear end in it with 410 gears that I just put in. Let's go ahead and pop the hood. So nothing special underneath here. It's just a 5.0 with a cold air intake, hot air intake, with BBK shorty headers to an H-pipe to two 3.5-inch mufflers, and then it dumps on the ground right before the axle. We're probably looking at a solid maybe 200 horsepower underneath here. But with that 410 gear, and it makes more torque than it does horsepower, it does pretty good. He calls it skid mark because it'll scare the shit out of you. Next we have my Seatime car. It was in my previous video, you saw me driving it, but it is just a 2000 Mustang GT 5-speed. It's got the stock 327 rear gear in it. Nothing special about that. It's got the NRG Mexicali Ultra, the Prisma Ultra seat. The stock steering wheel that I don't know if you noticed in the last video, but is bent. Drift American hydro with the Drift American dual caliper kit, exactly like my dad's car. And then it's on some Cosmos XT 206Rs. It is on Rev 9 coilovers. And again, nothing special underneath here at all. Just a cold air intake, and it's got exhaust. But the goal with this car was to get something that was cheap, reliable, and that I could beat on all day long and not have an issue. And it does it very well. It's basically bone stock, and it keeps up with everything. 350Zs, you know, 240s, you know, everything. It even keeps up with my buddy Zach Calvin's like 450 horsepower Corvette, and that's a hard task. But it does it great, and I only got about $6,000 invested in it, which for a drift car nowadays isn't that expensive. Now on to the car that makes me sad. This is a car everyone knows me about, you know, the Teal Miata. My frame mount wing is off, it's in the garage right now. But I'm currently K-swapping this, waiting on my K-swap parts from K-Power. But before it had a 1.6 turbo in it, and it is what really got me into drifting is this car. I've had this car for 5 years. Ooh, Holy Bible. But the cage is halfway out of it. It's got a bolt-in 6-point. I ran the stock e-brake 5-speed to a welded 1.6 diff. And yeah, it ripped. It made about 200 to the wheels. And it was a pretty solid drift car, and I really like it. I really like Miata chassis more than any other chassis, which people call me weird for, but I like it more than 240s. I like it more than Mustangs. I like it more than most. I'll show you guys this real quick because I'm pretty proud of this. This is our, I call it the Redneck Toy Hauler. It's got a camper, a pop-up camper that pops up, and it can sleep like 4 or 5 people. But on the back, it's car trailer, so you can carry anything you want, you know, 240, Miata, Mustang, and whatever. So this allows us to go out of town, and we don't have to stay in a hotel. We can sleep, you know, outside the track. It's got air conditioning, it's got power, you're sealed off from everything, and it's pretty cool. You got all your buddies and go on a long road trip, and you don't have to spend all the money for hotels. Probably my favorite out of everything. It's my 88 4Runner. It's a first gen. It's got the 22 RE in it. I got this, it was a little bit rough. Guy didn't take too good care of it, but I painted it with a single stage, back to the factory red. It's 4-wheel drive, it's on 32 by 1150s, it's got like a 3-inch lift, it's 5-speed manual. It pretty much will get you anywhere. Mud, snow, water, ice, you're going through it. So what do you think of the video so far? You don't like it? Well, take that, bitch. Daily, but no one cares about that. Here's my Mustang. It's a 2015 GT 6-speed. You know, the crowd hitter deluxe. You know, 2's a party, 3's a crowd. So watch out. It's my dad's truck. And then you got my tow rig over here. This is the OG tow rig. It's just a 2000 Dodge 3500 Cummins 4-wheel drive, and it's what I tow my car with. My dad uses the Redneck Toy Hauler. But yeah, this thing is just all reliable, nice and ugly. It just pulls. That's about it. If you guys have any questions about any of the cars I just showed you, hit me up on Instagram. My Instagram is Mr. Big Wing. Don't judge me. My Miata's got a big wing on it, alright? Any parts on the cars you saw that you want to ask about drifting, about where I drift, about what I drift, about how I drift, any of that, hit me up and I'll answer your questions. Thanks. I was just filming the last clip. The FedEx guy showed up and he brought me something that'll help filming way better. I'll show you here in a second. What we got, it's a Crane M2 gimbal. So yeah, I can hand the camera to anybody now and it won't be, you know, super shaky like last video when we're drifting, and you know, should stabilize by itself while we're walking, while we're driving. So, big quality upgrade. So after about 20 minutes of messing with it, I got it to work. And honestly, it is super cool. Check this out. I can like move my arm all around. And it stays extremely steady. That's the K24 that's going to go in the Miata with the subframe. Just waiting on the rest of the parts. So yeah, super cool. And I can just flip it around and boom, here I am. And there's Puppy. Sylvie. Alright, bye-bye. Look who we got pulling up right now. Mr. Tim. There's the man. Yo, this new setup is so sick. The gimbal works so well. Oh, he's gonna hit the curb. Took it a little too wide. I said you took it a little too wide.
Last time it was too narrow.
Oh. Alright, so today we're going to be welding Tim's 350Z Diff. The reason why we need to weld it is because it's either a very worn out VLSD, which is a clutch style, and it is acting as an open diff. What an open diff is where you give the power to the car and only one wheel spins, and you don't go nowhere, you won't go sideways, and they suck. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you an example of what an open diff does compared to a welded diff. After I show you the example, we're going to pull the diff out, weld it, we'll show you the process. But here's a clip now of what an open diff does. So that's an example of what an open diff does, is it just pushes, plows, makes you understeer, and only one wheel spins. But we're gonna fix it right now. So we just got the diff out. I didn't want to weld it in the garage because the two cars are right here, and I don't want any, weld splatter on them because that wouldn't be good. It'd go right through the paint, cause rust. But the 350Z diffs are pretty easy to get out. It's just the diff, the bolts, the drive shaft bolts, the axle bolts, and then the rear bolt back here, like I'll show you. So it's that big bolt right there, and then there's two 17s up there, the axles, and then the drive shaft. And this one had a diff brace on it, and we just take the diff brace off, right there, and then out comes the diff. We're gonna go weld it over there. I'll get a couple clips of that just to show you guys kind of what I'm doing, but we'll skip to that now. So this one had a LSD in it, but you're still able to weld it. If you can see, the spider gears are down in there. You just take it out, you take the back cover off, clean it with brake clean really good, and then can you spin that for me? Yep. In each one of these holes you need to weld the spider gears nice and solid in there. You can't put a plate on this one because it's not an open, it's an LSD, but you can still weld it and it'll be just as good. So here we go, about to weld the diff. Oh, is it on fire? No, nope, we're good. Yep, it's on fire. We're good. Hey, Kane, go away. We're on fire again. All the brake clean that's right there. Alright, readjusting. So, yes, hello. There we go. So I ran out of welding wire. Gonna have to go up to Lowe's and grab some more, but I'll be back and we'll put it back together. So, see you then. Here we go. Found the welding wire. Boom. Flux core. Wait, no. Yeah, flux core. Here we go. Brought the dog into the Lowe's.
Yes, sir.
Let's go back and finish this shit up. So we're just finishing up putting the diff back in, get the drive shaft to tighten up. Now we're gonna go do some test skids. Pretty excited to see it. What do you think, Max?
Okay,
What do you think about my new gimbal?
ah, cool.
That's pretty exciting.
You sound real excited now.
Yeah. How we doing? How we doing up down here?
We're doing mint.
Pretty
We have
minty.
the last two drive shaft bolts, and that should be it.
Yeah. I don't know. We're probably just gonna do some, test skids on the, Garvey 500.
So you want to go to the laundry spot?
I don't know. Probably not.
In your car. I'll drive your car, Max.
All right.
You will not drive my car.
Wow, it's the only car I've ever drifted for real.
My car?
No, I've had one of the
All right. Well, we're skipping to the test skids right now. So I'm about to test the donut machine right now. Just weld the diff.
It'll slide now.
Tomorrow we're going to the compound to slide it. We're going to beat the shit out of it and see if it will hold up. So we'll see tomorrow. We'll be out there. And the welded diff did way better than the open, obviously.
TJ's on.
Yeah. TJ is going to be jealous of your welded diff.
TJ just said that. He's
like,
stop
I'm
wasting my tires because we're supposed to trade.
Oh my god. Well, we'll see you guys at the compound tomorrow.